Good morning, traders. Andy Demi here from the London Trading Institute. I hope you're having a great day, guys. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about crypto, the crypto news, what's happening right now, what are the main headlines. We're also going to discuss the impending potential war between Russia and Ukraine and how specifically that might be affecting the markets. And we're going to talk about NFTs, and we're also going to go and look at some charts. So a lot to cover, guys. We're going to hit straight to it, and we're going to start by looking at some of the main headlines right now that are happening in the markets. Now, before I start, guys, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're new to our channel, and head over to the Crypto and FX Traders Club if you want to check out our trading community, our free Facebook group. Okay, so you just need to register, you need to click the link, which I'm going to post in the comments, and then request to join. All right, guys, and please hit the like button if you are enjoying all of our content and if you enjoy this video. So let me start by looking at some of the things that are happening in this space. So if I just let me do a screen share right now. So we're going to share this screen here. So, despite the recent, pullback in the markets, the thing that I want to kind of really show you right now is that institutions are getting more and more involved with cryptos and the whole universe of cryptos, not just Bitcoin. And JP Morgan have just announced a huge deal. In fact, they are the first official bank, major bank, who have now joined the metaverse space. I want to kind of show you what this is all about. So as it says here, JP Morgan is officially the first major bank in the metaverse, having opened a virtual lounge in blockchain-based Decentraland. Okay, so that is ticker symbol MANA, Mana, in an effort to capitalize on a 1 trillion market opportunity. It goes on to say the largest bank in the US, JP Morgan, has taken a massive step into the metaverse, opening a virtual lounge in the popular blockchain-based world Decentraland after it labeled the sector as a $1 trillion opportunity. Visitors to the lounge, situated in Decentraland's Metajuku Mall, are greeted by a roaming tiger and a digital portrait of Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan. If players walk upstairs, they can watch an executive's presentation on the economics of cryptocurrency. Okay, and there's, and it kind of just goes on to explain more about what they're building and, the potential of what's possible. The headline here is that this democratic ownership economy, coupled with the possibility of interoperability, could unlock immense economic opportunities whereby digital goods and services are no longer captive to a singular gaming platform or brand. Now, look, this is a real example of what's happening behind the scenes. So, despite the volatility in the markets, Bitcoin's going up, Bitcoin coming down, we've had a big correction, and also the metaverse cryptos have had a big correction. But this highlights what's really, JP Morgan aren't going to be doing some investing in this, without due course. They're not gambling. They're not, they don't make decisions that way. It takes a lot for this type of thing. And, this is not an overnight thing, where, it's not like you and I or retail traders who just jump in and don't want to miss out on an opportunity. These guys, they take serious risk, and that they really value risk, and they what I'm trying to say is that this is a calculated move, okay, because they believe this is the future, and that should really give you some really good confidence in the space, okay. And we can have a little look at Mana as well when we head into the charts. Let's see what else I've got here. So let's firstly talk about this. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard about Russia potentially invading the Ukraine. But for the moment, it seems to be easing. The tension seems to be easing. And, you know, apparently 60% of its soldiers now are still on the Ukrainian border, but soldiers have been removed. And so hopefully there is going to be peace there. But we still, as market traders, need to be prepared, and we need to discuss, okay, well, what could happen if, you know, if it does ease up, or if it doesn't ease up and actually war does go ahead. Well, I'm going to discuss that with you guys. Now, here's what CNBC think about that. So market pullback will be worse than Crimea if Russia invade, Goldman Sachs says. So, you know, the general premise of this news article here is that the stock market is likely to have a huge crash if indeed, you know, war does break out. And if we just kind of let's bring in our charts here. Let's bring in the S&P 500. So this is the S&P 500 has, let's bring in the daily chart actually. You can see that the daily chart has had a correction. So it has had a push up based on the fact that, you know, the in fact, let me bring in a better chart. I've got it here all kind of done. So we have had that push up. Now, does that necessarily mean we're out of the woods? Not necessarily. And, you know, from a technical point of view, you know, if you kind of have a look, I know that the last major correction was here back in 2020. And if you take a look over here at the MACD, you know, the last kind of big correction where the MACD was this low was around here. And you can see the market then did continue to go up higher. I think if we see a break below these lows here, okay, and therefore the 200 daily moving average, and we see the MACD below here, I think we could be heading for a major correction. And, you know, and that's, you know, and sometimes it takes something like this, you know, something horrible like a war to create that instability. And I think the global stock market on the whole, that's what the consensus is by other you know, serious analysts, and that's also my consensus, is that if war does break out, that could be the stimulus to push the stock market lower. But an interesting kind of thought is what happens to Bitcoin? You know, will it follow suit? I know recently we've been speaking about you know, how it's been correlated to the S&P 500 recently. You know, would that correlation continue? Well, this is quite an interesting one. This is on Motley Fool, and they have an interesting kind of spin to this, which is, you know, essentially cryptocurrencies really, it's about kind of being independent from governments. And, you know, they kind of make a good argument here that possibly actually something like Bitcoin might actually flourish. So let's have a little read of this. So it says, the share in the bond markets are in absolute turmoil due to the tense situation with Russian troops threatening the border. But this is why crypto will boom. The possibility of a Russian invasion of Ukraine has triggered anxious shivers into share markets and bond yields. The presence of more than 100,000 military personnel along the border has sent a signal to the US and its allies that Vladimir Putin is not mucking about. Financial markets are worried, obviously, because war itself would be damaging, but heavy economic sanctions against Russia could also cause major upheaval. However, one expert reckons the flagship cryptocurrency Bitcoin will flourish if fighting breaks out in the Eastern Europe. According to the big group chief executive Nigel Green, serious geopolitical risks are bringing to light the real-life usefulness of cryptocurrencies. Research shows that Bitcoin donations are flooding into Ukrainian non-governmental organizations and volunteer groups. The crowdfunding activities are, say experts, being used to equip the Ukrainian army with military and medical supplies. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are hosted on the blockchain, which removes centralized administration and provides anonymity. So funds sent that way are less likely to be confiscated by unfriendly authorities. Meanwhile, Ukraine's adversary Russia is planning to regulate cryptocurrency with crypto legislation, including tax standards, expected as soon as next week. So again, this is an interesting thought about Bitcoin. Now, of course, you know, this may not play out this way, but you know, the signs are is that, you know, cryptos are being used, you know, in this case, you know, for exactly what they were created for, which is like, you know, for non-governmental interference. So, you know, this could be where the S&P and Bitcoin stop being correlated. Maybe the S&P will crash. Global stock markets potentially will crash if war breaks out, and possibly Bitcoin might actually flourish in those conditions. Now, you know, I would have a look at to see if the technical picture is also basically pointing to the same thing. Let's bring in Bitcoin. And I think right now, you know, the sign that I'm seeing is, you know, that the boards are certainly making a good attempt here. And, you know, you can kind of see that the retracement is slow and small, and then the upside is at the moment pretty big. Like you can see, like it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to retrace, and it kind of did you know, about 75% of that back in 1 day. So that's a bullish sign, and I think we've definitely got the potential to at least go back up here, hit this Fibonacci zone and this channel line around 52 to 55K. And then I think, you know, resistance will come in this block here. We've got a MACD going above the zero on the daily. You can see that this has proven to be a really good signal in the past. You know, you can actually see this across quite a few signals here. You can see here again, really strong signal. So I think there is certainly potential in the short term, at least in the next few weeks, for Bitcoin to have, you know, look at the when the MACD is above the zero, how much of a rally we got. I think we've got the potential to go and push and test these highs up here. And, you know, who knows if war's going to be the reason why that happens, or that's going to create that extra demand for cryptos, for Bitcoin. But from a technical point of view, it's kind of backing the fundamental idea behind it as well, which is also, you know, which is obviously very, you know, which is also great in terms of confluence. So that's kind of really the main things. I did promise I would look at Mana as well, so you can see, you know, Mana is, you know, it's, you know, despite that news, because of all the uncertainty in cryptos, you know, we've had a jump up, but not a huge jump up. I think this is looking like there's some strength. You can see the MACD is also going above the zero line for the first time in a long time. You know, we are about, you know, well, we went as low as here. We are now about 44% from the all-time highs. I mean, it's not bad, nearly half price. I think that's, you know, you've got to be fairly happy with that. So this looks like a decent one. I mean, it's a big, you know, endorsement to have JP Morgan basically build their metaverse on your platform. You know, and really because of the whole market uncertainty, it hasn't really yet reacted. And you know, it's got a lot of potential still for growth. So of course, this is not investment advice. I'm just kind of speculating here and just kind of giving you my thought process. But you know, these are the kind of things, opportunities that maybe one day we'll be looking at Decentraland and think, oh my word, can you remember when it was $3? You know, maybe it will be, you know, way higher at that point, especially when it becomes more mainstream. And you can see, really, we haven't really lifted off yet, okay, compared to some other projects. So so yeah, because of that article, it's kind of highlighted it and brought it back to my attention. So you know, obviously do your own research and, you know, make your own investment decisions. So that is all from me today. I hope that was useful. Do comment below if you are enjoying our content and getting value from it. And if there's anything you have to ask me, feel free to ask. Also, you can do that in our group, in our Facebook group. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. We really appreciate it. And that subscription button if you are enjoying our stuff. I know I ask every day, but you might forget, and it really helps us out. We want to get our content out to more and more people, help out as many people as we can. And I hope you're going to help us on that journey. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Good trading to you. Good investing. Good health. I'll catch you again soon with another video. Take care.